All right. Welcome
Hello,
back,
guys.
everybody. Slime Time episode
8, I believe.
8.
Could be wrong. 8, though?
8. I think. 8?
Maybe.
8.
Well, you guys will know by the title of this if we're wrong.
Welcome back, everybody. 8 episodes in. We're doing it. We've made it past a month of doing this podcast, and it's been going great. I've been pretty happy about some of the information we've actually been putting out there.
Yeah, super happy. I've really been enjoying it too.
This is one of my little favorite pet projects we do. I'm really proud of this podcast. I'm glad that we started it, and it's something I like to kind of show people and be like, hey, you need a hand with your stream, you need this, you need that. We have an episode on that. We talked about it here.
Yeah, definitely go back and see it. It's something that people can listen to and then re-listen to if they miss anything. Maybe write notes on it.
Yeah. So I've been really proud that this happened, and it's honestly been one of my favorite projects to work on. So
it's been pretty awesome.
Also, this week, Dix. This podcast episode is brought to you by Dix.
By Dix.
By
What?
Dix. You and your dick obsession.
I don't have it's not a dick obsession.
It's a dick obsession.
It's not a dick obsession.
You're wanting to 3D print dick jewelry.
Hey, there were people that wanted to do it. I don't think genitalia should be taboo.
No, but I do have the right to laugh at you and your dicks.
That's fine. That's fine. I can love dicks by myself.
Well, apparently,
and spread them.
Apparently, by what you were saying, it's you're not the only one who loves the dicks, I guess.
Hey, see?
So what have you seen this week? What's new? What's going on for you?
Ooh, let's see. We actually got to go see Avengers Endgame.
It was pretty
good.
good.
We're not gonna do any spoilers. No spoilers here.
It was pretty good, though.
It was pretty good. I give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Honestly, yeah. So it kind of had a weird thing for me, right?
You can't say anything.
No. Not about the actual movie, but like just expectation management.
Yeah.
Everyone told me it was one of the best movies they'd ever seen ever in their life. And I'm like, so I went in with higher expectations, I guess, than what was delivered on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying by any means that the movie was bad, because it was fantastic.
It was good.
But I don't think that it was like I wouldn't rank it as high as what people were saying.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, but it was really good.
It was really good, but yeah, again, I wouldn't rank it as high as what people were giving it. And so, like, because of the expectations I had going into it, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if people wouldn't have bragged on it so hard.
Yeah, I would have to agree there too.
So yeah, that was nice. We actually saw it without any spoilers. That was pretty cool.
Spoilers, anything. Like I was just pretty much off social media, and if I saw anything that started with an AV, I pretty much just like scrolled past it real fast. But I had no spoilers whatsoever.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that. That was
and
really
us
nice.
Living on the internet, like Twitch is a pretty trolly community in the first place.
Sometimes.
People just come in and decide.
We have a good space for it.
We do. We have a great space, but it doesn't. Having a good space doesn't.
It doesn't
prevent people that want to come in and just ruin your day.
Oh yeah, no. So I mean, it was. I thought it was kind of a little accomplishment that we managed to not have the entire movie spoiled for us.
Yeah,
I was
even
pretty
parts
excited
of
about
it.
that.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear anything about it.
To be honest, I mean, like even with the what was it called, the Star Wars movies, those were spoiled. That always pissed me off.
I don't think it was spoiled for me.
I got
Might have been just you.
I got the what was it, episode 7 spoiled for me. That was a shame.
I gotcha. So what else is new?
I mean, that's really about it, right?
I know just today we were talking about possibly taking another day off a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like, we have so much other content to focus on and do that we can, that requires time, that requires effort, and like our day off isn't a day off. It never is.
It would be so nice to have one day off.
And I don't even feel like it would end up being a day off.
It wouldn't be a complete day off.
But
no.
I feel like, especially taking on stream coaching, I feel like having that extra day may be what prevents burnout.
Yeah, I feel like that may be.
Because, I mean, like, one of our goals recently has been to push streams out longer, right?
Yes.
To have more times, in each cast. Because, I mean, obviously, time streamed, in my opinion, time streamed matters more than days streamed.
Yeah, I agree, too.
So, I think
my gosh.
having an extra
There's
day...
There's a spider right in front of me. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so small, though.
It's such a baby little... I don't want to kill it, but I...
Just blow it.
No, because...
Give him a chance to... Oh.
No, I had to kill it. I had to kill the spider.
You didn't have to.
It is like a couple feet away from our bed.
Baby spider.
Think
It's
about...
so small, though.
Okay, well then I will let it live and crawl in your ear in the middle of the night.
It wouldn't crawl in my ear.
It would totally crawl in your ear. It would call that a home.
No, it would just crawl up next to me and, like, snuggle me.
You hate spiders.
I hate big spiders.
You hate any type of spiders.
You can't even see his legs, though. It was so small.
I could see his leg. It was right in front of me.
But I couldn't from where I was sitting. It was just like a little black spider ball hanging on a little black spider thread. Little spider baby. Ooh. Okay. What were we talking about?
Talking about taking a day off.
Where are we? Yeah, we may end up taking another day off. And, like...
I don't know. We haven't thought of... We haven't talked it over too much.
That conversation made me realize, again, just how awesome our community is.
Of course. Our community's freaking amazing.
No, because I talked about it, and people were like, why are you even bringing it up? Like, people wouldn't tell you to take a day off. It's like, God, how dare you not want to work every day of your life and have a day off like us normal people? And it's like, no, I mean, I'm just running it past you to get an idea. They're like, shut up. Take time, damn it. Feel better. It's like, okay, I love you.
Is even, like, I don't think people understand as streamers, even if you take a day off, it's not a day off. You're always still on Discord. You're always still on socials. You're always still messaging people, making sure to get back with emails.
There's always a project you have to work on. There's always something that needs doing.
So, oh my gosh, we need like a day.
Feel better, damn it, Kappa.
We need a day. I would love a day where we could just disconnect from everything.
And that would be the idea. It's like day one off is hit the pavement hard, do everything that needs doing. Day two is like, okay, keep up with the socials and like reply to people's messages.
I like that idea. But you know what? I want one day, like,
well, I mean,
every 2 months where we don't even are on our phones.
Like
disconnect.
I don't know about any of that nonsense. That's a pretty tall order.
Well, I like trust our mods. Like, nothing else is gonna go like.
Oh, I don't think. All right, so I don't think that's an issue. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, if we take a day off, everything's gonna go to hell. It's like, no, I don't think that at all. But what I do think is that if we take days like fully away, I don't know, like I feel like I'm gonna be too tempted.
It would be hard, but I think it might be good for us. Like,
maybe
it would be like once like every 3 months. Something like that. Like once every 3 months, once every 2 months even. I think it would be interesting. Maybe even once a month, but that's kind of pushing it.
I dig it.
I think it would be interesting.
So, this is going to be an Ask Us Anything podcast, guys. If you have a question, if you want to talk, we found that the conversations were better if we did this in voice, because you can ask your follow-ups a lot easier. But what was the word I was looking for? You can also post your questions in Twitch chat or the podcast suggestions tab in the Discord. We're going to be drawing from all three, guys.
Yeah.
So I guess let's go ahead and start this off.
Okay.
I know there's one in podcast suggestions.
Okay.
That we could start talking about while everyone else gets where they want to be.
Okay, let me check that out. Podcast suggestions. Okay. This one's from Bugatti.
Okay.
If there is one thing you would do differently as far as life decisions, what would it be and why?
That's a tricky one, isn't
Mine
it?
would probably be waiting to have children.
Yeah.
We hopped into it a lot faster, and I feel like, I don't know. I mean, we wouldn't trade her for the world or trade anything that we've done for the world. We wouldn't go back and fix it because I love her. But if it's something that we knew and would have done differently, it'd probably wait to have children. I feel like I had a lot of my, I mean, I was 19 when I got pregnant. I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And I had her when I was 20. I feel like just a lot of my, I mean, it's not really childhood, but young adult.
Yeah, it was kind of taken from
It was kind
you.
of taken. You had to grow. I had to grow really fast. I wasn't prepared for it. But
Yeah.
that's probably something that I would have waited on. But probably at that time, who knows, if we wouldn't have waited to have kids, something might have gone astray and we would have never started streaming. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
We wouldn't have been moved out at the time we were. We wouldn't have been married.
Yeah,
so
that's
I mean,
true.
It's
very
all
true.
led to where we are today. But if everything were staying the same way, that was one thing I'd do differently. But I still have a kid.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
If I could change anything, I would have like not waited so long to get started making content. Because I mean, we talked about it for so long, but think about like it was at least a year and some change before we actually, stopped talking and started making.
No, we talked about it for like 2 months.
No, because we did the YouTube thing first, remember, with the capture card, and then we were like trying to figure out why the laptop we were recording on couldn't handle it, and like we never bothered to actually try to edit any of that. Like we'd watch the playback on it and be like, oh god, this is so bad. It's like, okay, well, it's because it's not rendered, it's not doing anything, it's gonna take a long ass time to render, sure, but you can still do it. It can still happen. We kind of took that as an excuse and didn't do it,
I get you.
So that would be mine. I would have just gone for it.
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
I would have gone for it sooner. And like, who knows where that would have been? That would have been interesting. I think starting on YouTube before being a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have probably taught us a lot about like just talking and narration and community management earlier than kind of where we are now.
Oh yeah.
But c'est la vie. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
What do we got?
So,
Anybody chilling in voice chat want to come in and ask some questions? Guys, if you're just now joining us, we are recording the podcast right now as an Ask Us Anything. It is streaming, life, advice, whatever you guys have for us. We answer anything posed. We're actually trying to pull some people from Discord into voice chat and have a little conversation.
Yeah.
So if you guys have anything you want to learn or talk about, hit us up.
Yeah, and if you don't have anything, if you don't want to talk in voice, then you are more than welcome to write in chat any questions that you may have to us about
Just
us.
tag at Octomouse.
Yeah, or about streaming. Feel free to anything.
Just life in general sometimes. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
unless it's about dicks. That's this whole stream in a nutshell.
Hey, I didn't think it was a bad idea.
This stream is brought to you by dicks.
Yeah.
When in doubt, dicks. Just,
oh my gosh.
Just dicks.
Just dicks.
Just dicks.
Okay. Good to know.
Just dicks. Oh. All right. Do we have any questions from anybody? Last episode, we actually ended up just chatting with Taradra and didn't have any questions to answer, which is a first.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of what it's supposed to do, right? This is supposed to be us able to provide you guys educational value back.
Yeah.
You guys ask us questions all the time, and then when it comes to actually asking us questions, you're just like, nope. So,
Yep. So
This is gonna be a really fucking short episode here in a second, guys.
yeah.
When in doubt, take it out.
I mean, we can. I don't know.
Fucking, I can get up, ramble. Yeah, anything at all, guys.
We're actually reading
anything
chat right
at
now.
all.
Yeah. Any questions at all? Like, I mean,
Anything at all is welcome, guys. I want to be able to provide value back to you guys. We didn't have a topic tonight. Nothing hard in specific. So I know it's weird for some of you guys for us not to have like a topic ahead of time, but I don't know. Like those have been my favorite podcast episodes. Honestly, was just sitting and answering questions for you guys. But I mean, like. There has to be something to go into, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Sort of. I have a question. Perfect.
Okay, question. Yeah.
There we go. Fucking claps in chat.
We'll take some questions.
All right.
3 or 4.
Thank you. What's your question, guys? His and Hers Live or Jaku has a question.
Yes.
You're kind of the same. It's another duo stream, actually. You guys should check them out.
I feel like bad, but I feel like we're forcing questions at this point.
So, how can you hear the music in real time while streaming?
How can you both hear the music? Real time.
Oh, so like an audio question.
Okay.
So all of our audio is run through a mixer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can't hear his audio in real time.
Okay, so what it is, all of our stuff is run through a mixer. So, our computer audio from, we mix 3 computers. We have Holly's computer, we have my computer, and then we have our streaming computer. They each come into a track on the mixer, and then it all goes back into one track back into the streaming computer. And we can listen to the track that's going back to the streaming computer. So, like, what we hear... we have a pair of like studio monitors hooked up to our mixer.
The third computer is not the answer, actually.
No, it's the mixer. The mixer's the answer.
The mixer is the answer. Basically, you put all of the audio.
It goes into one space and then it goes out as one thing.
Yeah.
And you listen to that one thing. So we can literally hear ourselves. In real time, we hear how loud we are.
We hear the music. We hear the game in real time. We hear everything.
We hear alerts.
You can
it's
pick
all
up a
blended
cheap
together.
mixer for about $50 to $80.
Yeah, I would 100% say though that a mixer is a fucking necessity if you want to.
And then you're able to upgrade to XLR mics, not this one in particular, but you can into any XLR mics, and your audio is starting to become substantially better. It's the next step up.
Right.
In audio, I feel.
I mean,
we sit right next to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Don't lick me, please. Right there.
I feel like,
He's just an audio card away from me.
At this point, XLR is so easy for people to get into. I mean, because a cheap mixer is like you said, like what, $50, $60, right? For a little 2-track mixer.
Yeah, $80 if you're going to want to go with a little bit nicer.
A little bit of a nicer mixer.
But it's still small and still perfect for a beginner mixer.
You can get super El Cheapo XLR mics for the cost of USB mics. I mean, like a Yeti's like what, $100? You can pick up $100 Ember from Blue, and it's the same cost, but the audio quality is substantially higher.
And you can also plug in your headphones mixer if you want to rock headphones. Right now, we're not. We use speakers, so everything's coming out of the speakers. And since our mics, I mean, my speaker is like maybe like 1.5 feet away from my mic, but since my mic only picks up my voice, it doesn't pick up anything out of the speakers, and I can hear the music.
That's another question we get a lot. It's like, how do we not have each other pick up on each other's mics? It's the answer's because we're XLR, because I can use a noise gate now. So
and we can hear all the music in real time. It's like it's coming from one source. But you can also hook up headphones to it if you want to. So you both have the headphones, and you guys can hear the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Now, the downside is you're not going to be able to really distinguish whose audio is what.
Yeah.
So if you're both playing a game with both of you guys having audio, then what ends up happening is you have to turn one of the computers off, effectively.
Unless you want to hear both of them at the same time.
Yeah, unless you don't mind hearing both. But then it gets confusing, especially if you play a shooter, right? Where, what's coming from where, what side is it on, who's whose audio is it coming from?
Yeah, that's the only downside that we've found so far. But normally one of us just like one game has the audio, the other one has just muted.
Yeah, we just switch.
And then like if someone dies that has the audio, we switch it over to the person that doesn't, just so they can hear things. We make it work.
Computer's screaming at me to free up storage.
Free up storage! Free up storage! Your internal hard drive too overloaded. Free up storage!
Shut up! No, you're not my mom. I don't have to clean my computer. You can't make me. Anyway, so I would definitely say, like, stepping up to XLRs is easier than it's ever been, and it makes more and more sense, especially for duo streams.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, audio's so hard. Audio's so hard to get right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty difficult.
So like, if you don't try a little bit with it, you don't try to step it up and find something to make life easier on yourself, you end up with really bad situations for a really long time, or you end up with like really weird rigged situations. I've seen people, it's like, oh, how are you doing that? It's like, oh yeah, well, we have like 3 different plugins that run into this sound card that run out to this pair of headphones, and then we use the mic out of our headphones. Like, whoa, why?
And it only works
That's
about
horrible.
half the time.
Yeah, it works half the time. We have to
Better than
restart the
nothing. I was
computer.
like, well, this is the easy fix.
It's like, you have to restart the computer to get it to work. It's like, why don't you just get a mixer? Like,
yeah,
you're basically rigging a mixer together anyway, so why don't you just get a piece of equipment that was designed to do it?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and I believe if you get long enough cords, you can have like the mixer in one room and then have the computer like if you're in another.
Oh yeah, you could run them across a freaking house.
Yeah.
There's cables that are 20, 30, 40 feet long. There's cables longer than that. I mean, I think our XLR cables are what? Like 30 feet.
You appreciate
cables?
it. We record music, so we already have all that stuff. Well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Heck yeah.
There
all
you
you gotta
go.
do is hook it up. Yeah, you look into it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll tell you what chords. I mean, if you don't know already, I assume since you guys record music, you know a little bit about that stuff. But yeah, we'd be more than happy to help.
So, what else we got from you guys?
Let me make sure.
Anything from podcast suggestions?
Okay, we do.
Okay,
it's from
awesome.
Fiend.
Okay.
Hey, Octus, have you visited any restaurants that you like, or that you didn't like, and why?
I mean, haven't we all?
Yeah. There's this place that it kind of scares me to go to. It's called China Harbor.
Oh, that place. It's like a buffet, right?
It's a buffet,
but I'm always afraid to take advantage of the all-you-can-eat because I feel like it's going to be an all-I-can-throw-up later.
Yeah.
That place is sketchy. It really is. It just looks dingy. You know what? What looked really dingy that I actually ended up liking?
What?
What was it? Golden? No, not Golden. Is it Golden? The Golden Corral. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh no.
Golden Corral was actually
that one's scary.
It was decent food, but my God, it's
There's
super
only
sketchy.
been like one buffet that I've ever been to, and I haven't been sketched out. But I guess I was still technically a little sketched out. There was a place, I forgot what it was called, but we used to have it. It's no longer here anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't think they meant like health code violations or something like that. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, Golden Corral is the one place that was like sketchy to me that I actually ended up liking. They didn't have bad food. It just looks grimy.
It was
just looks grimy. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Have you ever been to a Fur's?
No, I haven't been to a Fur's. I don't even know what that is.
It's another place very similar to Golden Corral. It's like a buffet type, restaurant type, all you can eat type thing type place type.
I don't
ordeal
know.
Type thing.
I don't know anymore. The all you can eat restaurant type things.
Type places.
They kind of creep
type
me
ordeals.
out. They kind of creep me out. Like there's like every once in a while, like once a year, I'm just like, ooh, a buffet sounds nice, and then I'm just like, oh.
Well, then you actually go to a buffet. Yeah, then you actually
no, I don't
go
actually
to
go
a buffet.
to the buffet. I just think about it for a little bit, and then when you think about it a little bit deeper, it's kind of like,
yeah, Yeah.
It's kind of like biting
Yeah.
into an apple and the inside of it being like rotten and the outside looks fine.
That's horrible. Why would you make
Exactly.
that?
It's just like the outside looks fine.
Stop.
It's like, oh, and then you like dig into it a little deeper and you're just like, no.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but on that, is there any ones that we've liked?
Any
Like super liked?
Any
Restaurants. There's this restaurant called.
I mean, there's a lot of restaurants I super like.
Well, this is a
That's a
newer one to us.
silly
It's called Blue Jasmine.
Question.
Blue Jasmine's pretty good.
Yeah, Blue Jasmine, they're a Thai place.
Yeah.
I found recently that Thai food's one of my favorite things. So just
Yeah,
really
apparently
silly,
it's-
but yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy Thai food. It's what is it called? The drunken noodles, the really flat noodles. I absolutely freaking love them. The
Yeah.
sauce is the sauce that comes with them. They're like stir fried basically.
I like what is it called? Pad Krapao.
Yeah,
Pad
that one's
Krapao.
really good.
And I like
that
it
one's
with,
really
with
good.
ground chicken. It was so yummy.
That one's really good too.
Let's see, we like sushi. We like a good steak. If you give
mean,
us,
like,
if you take us to Texas
honestly,
Day Brazil, you'll be like our best friend in the world.
There's a lot of places I really like. I feel like it's easier for me to find places I like than places I hate.
Yeah. There's
Uh,
not really any places I really hate. Besides like Long John Silver's here, looks disgusting. Like,
Yeah, see,
we've eaten there
I never
once.
understood your thing with Long John Silver's because it's not bad.
It's like a freaking bait bucket.
It's not bad. I mean, I think that's kind of what they're going for, though, right? They're kind of going for that aesthetic. That's
No
their
restaurant.
aesthetic.
If you've
okay?
been to an
That's their
actual bait
aesthetic.
shop, if you've been to an actual bait shop, you don't
Well, they're
want
going for like they're going for
any-
legitimate. They're going for legitimate like fishing, maritime theme, right? They're going for something that makes you feel like you're on a fishing boat. What's wrong with that? I mean, it's
No.
it's a fishing shop place thing, right?
They're called bait shops. And if a restaurant thinks it's okay to ever be compared to a bait shop, have you ever been into a bait shop? They smell
No,
like
I have
fish
not. I have not.
death.
I have not been into a bait shop.
Okay. Well, next time, if we ever go to the beach, we're going to go in a bait shop. And I'm going to make you stay in there for at least 30 minutes. And you try not to throw up.
Okay. I mean, I feel like it's one of those things you just kind of get desensitized to. Although I don't feel like you should probably get desensitized to the smell of your place you're eating at, but I feel like that's probably a bad sign.
Yeah. Okay.
How would you describe your dining experience? Well, you see, after the first half hour, I just kind of got desensitized to the smell.
Oh my
What?
God.
Sorry, what?
Oh gosh. Okay.
What other questions do we have?
Okay,
Oh,
this
fuck.
one's from Ted Dino.
Hey, Ted, I love Ted.
Going by the trailer, what are your thoughts on the movie Brightburn? It's basically a what if Superman was evil and just killed.
I haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer either, but it sounds interesting.
I've always wanted to see Superman as a bad guy.
I've always wanted to see all of the superheroes as a bad guy, and
Yeah.
they've done that once, sort of.
What do you mean?
And it's my favorite, quote unquote. You don't call him a superhero; it's Deadpool. Deadpool's just a freaking. He doesn't kill
he's
just
not
to
a
kill.
bad guy though. He's
I
not
know,
he's
I
an
know.
anti-hero, but he's not a bad guy.
I know. Well, I never said he's a quote unquote superhero.
I want to see them as bad guys. Like
straight
honest
up
to
bad
God
guy?
bad guys.
Well, then you'd have to have some sort of a good guy to get him. So I mean, and then that,
Would
and
you,
that
or can you just put him up against like the cops, modern things?
Superman against
show
the
what would,
cops.
yeah, exactly. Show what would happen if somebody with superpowers was born and just decided.
they would be like reigning supreme.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see a movie like that. I think that'd be cool. I don't know
about that.
I do. I think it'd be cool.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay, sure.
From Justin.
Okay.
How do you pick a raid target? Is it according to what the streamer is playing, viewers, numbers, or connections to a team? So there's several things we look at, and we like to switch it up.
Yeah, go ahead. You can talk first.
Yeah, we like to switch it up. So normally, with our stream, we like to help other streamers. We like to raid down, per se. Basically, we look at how many people that we are raiding with, and we like to raid someone that has less than those. But this is not always set in stone.
Right.
But it's something that we do follow a little bit more than not. But we try to raid other people that have lower numbers, that it would make it would seem like a bigger impact. Because if you raid someone that has 70 people and you have 50 or 20, it's just like, oh, a little bit for them. That's great. That's amazing. But if you raid somebody that has like 2 people with like 50, that's making their freaking night or week or even month or year.
Right. So, I mean, like, you know,
giving people a chance.
That's just it. Yeah, we try to take what our community size has given us, and we try to take that spotlight and kind of give it to people that we endorse, who, you know, we feel are good broadcasters.
Yeah.
And kind of give them a moment, and, you know, in the biggest impact we can.
Yeah.
So we usually raid within the team. We have a Twitch team, the Cephalopod Squad. It's incredible. It's full of amazing broadcasters, awesome connections, lots of people, just spreading the love back and forth, which I'm super thankful for. It's to me, it's awesome to see a community like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we usually raid within our own team. I feel like that's kind of a given. Although we're in other teams, so we raid there. We also just raid people that we meet.
Also, like friends. It just depends. Like if there's if someone's doing a charity stream or someone did their birthday or someone's
events matter too.
Events. So we might be raiding if,
Yeah, so if it's your birthday, you know, you may get a raid from us.
And very rarely we've been doing a thing where we've actually been raiding people that we don't know from maybe the same game category that we've been playing. We don't do that very often.
Every once in a while, if we you know, don't have a target in mind, or we've been hosting, you know, down all week, then we may just kind of raid someone new in a game that we're playing.
Yeah, so it pretty much it's pretty much all over the place. We like to stay in the team. Definitely people that we see in chat a lot. That we know are streamers. We definitely.
It's you know, if you take the time to get to be a part of our community, we're definitely going to support a whole lot more. I feel like that's kind of a given with any
because you support us, we're going to support you. I mean, it's not if you don't support us, then we're still probably maybe going to support you if we like you, the content you create and stuff. But
I mean, you have a much higher chance of creating a connection.
Yeah, because we're friends here. We make friends with you. We talk with you guys, and we want to support our friends back. I mean, that's just
kind of a given, right?
It's I mean, like your friend rubs your back, you rub theirs. I mean, just
what are you rubbing? What?
Okay, so Yeti has Yeti
question.
Machete.
I like that.
I like your name.
I like
have
that
a question.
name. That's really cool.
What is the hardest part about being a couple stream? You can go first.
I
know mine.
Being at each other's throat, disagreements. That's the hardest thing. Every couple has their couple quarrel. Every couple. Don't even pretend like you're infallible from it, because you're not, okay? Every couple has a couple quarrel. We all get into it from time to time. It just happens.
We're had human. One last stream.
We're human, you know, we grate on each other's nerves, and you know, it's you have to keep this really interesting working relationship with your spouse. And that could be kind of a tricky thing to manage sometimes.
Yeah, always. I don't know. Just if you two are on the same page, or one person is a little bit,
it's gonna be obvious. It really is.
Yeah, it is, and it happened last stream. Everybody knows. Everyone was like, awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
I don't even remember what it was over. Do you remember? Because it was because they also ask, what do you disagree upon? Everything sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, what do we disagree on?
What was it yesterday? Does anybody remember? It was here yesterday?
Yesterday it was, I I got annoyed because we switched away from a good conversation to talk about food again. That's what it was.
I was just
It's
and
like,
then we're gonna go through
we
this whole couple.
we always talk about food. We talk about it like kind of more than most of anything else. And when we're having a really good talk, to switch that up to talk about food again is just like, come on.
Well, I agree about that. I was at this point, my side of it, as I was reading chat and I was talking, and the person brought food up.
Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from with it, but I mean, like, still,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all. That's all there was to it. It's
Yes, and
Yeah,
we
it was
do
okay,
this
I
full
guess.
time. Yes.
yeah, we do. Yeah, we're full-time casters.
Yeah. So I guess also living with each other 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, we
It's
don't
hard.
we don't get as much of a break from each other as a
And
standard.
it's very healthy in a relationship to have time away from each
Yes.
other. Like you don't have to spend every freaking second with each other. And everyone's just
Yeah.
like, you can't spend all the time with them. Then they're not your person.
It's
Or
like,
they're not your.
no, bitch,
like,
no.
oh.
Listen. As much as I love you, I may
yeah,
sometimes want to strangle you,
Yeah.
and I need
Oh,
time away
jeez.
from you.
I never want to strangle you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a one-sided road then.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, just
Well,
let
not
you know.
strangle, just maybe
Just, you know,
stab.
Whoa, which one's worse here? Come on.
I'm joking. I'm joking. He knows I'm joking too.
If I'm not on stream tomorrow, guys, doesn't matter
Well, if
what
I'm
the
not
Twitter
on stream
says.
tomorrow.
Doesn't matter what the Twitter says.
See the one I open. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Okay. What were we talking about?
We're talking about the hardest things for
Couples.
stream.
Yeah. I'd say just getting along all the time is hard.
getting along all the time because we're pretty much. I mean,
So, I mean, like,
we're
it's
not forced to, but we do force ourselves to get along at least on stream as much as possible.
So it's like, right? Obviously, being a caster, especially professionally, you're an entertainer. Like,
Yep.
that's what you have to entertain people. Guess what? If you're not entertaining, people don't fucking show up. And if
Yeah.
you do this as a job and people don't show up anymore,
then you no longer have a job, or you don't have food,
then you
or
don't have a house, or
and you're living under the bridge.
yeah. So you have to
With
you have
the
to
snakes.
stop what you're doing and get
Yeah.
something that sucks a bunch of dick, and nobody wants to go back to work in that retail life. Let's be honest.
it's just like- it's
even
just like a
working 100
comedian.
hours a week is preferable to work in that retail life, right?
Yeah, because there's so many people who are just like, oh, stream what you like, do what you love.
No.
Just take it
No.
easy. If you're
No.
gonna do it professionally,
No.
Then no.
No, there's
Think-
so
think-
many expectations.
think about it just as a performer on the stage. It's
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing. We're just behind a camera.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it like you'd be running a talk show. If it's not something you'd see Ellen try to do, then
Yeah,
you
Ellen's not just gonna have
probably-
like an argument with.
with
her
her fucking
wife.
producer. Yeah, Ellen's not gonna like pull her fucking producer from behind the stage and be like, "Hey, by the way, I don't like this fucking camera angle you're using, and I want to tell everybody right now."
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same deal. You're expected to entertain and provide value back to people, and if you don't do that, then you're gonna have a bad time. So, as a couple, we both have to be on our game. We both have to bring it every stream.
Yeah, and
which is-
I've been slack-a-lacking.
Yeah, which is that's a struggle in and of itself. When one person feels bad, how do you expect both people to bring it? 100% every stream.
Yeah, my health has been messed up, so I'm so glad that we are a duo, or we wouldn't been live all these times. And he's been picking it up majorly. Like right now, I'm forcing myself to be here, and it's difficult. I mean, I want to be here. I really do.
You just want to talk about the 3D printed dicks. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason I'm here. I'm here to like beg for a 3D printer so I can 3D print dicks and give them to people.
I just want to see you like walk into a store with like a little Ziploc baggie of like itty bitty charm bracelet sized dicks, and then just hand them out like they're communion wafers.
You compared to communion wafers? That's not okay.
Well, I mean, like, just walk up to people and be like, hey, stick out your hands. They'll be like, what? And be like, here you go. And just walk away. No explanation. No nothing.
I would totally.
Just, here's
oh my gosh.
Here's a little plastic.
Think
dick.
about like a charm bracelet with like little penises on it. It would be so cute. And they could be like different colors. And oh my gosh. Okay, there was already several people in the chat that would wear like little tiny penis necklaces.
What is this conversation?
It would be so cute. It would be so cute.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. What are we? I
don't have any more questions here. Unless you guys
don't
want to
have
ask any more questions.
Do we have any questions? And guys, if
doing our
you're just not
podcast
joining,
right now?
we're doing the podcast. If you have questions, please post them. Anything goes. Advice. You want us to talk about something? You want me to go on a rant? Whatever. Just whatever works.
Yeah, you can post it in podcast suggestions. You're welcome to post it in Twitch chat. Any questions about streaming, about us, about anything really? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
This isn't just like, personal questions. We're actually about to be launching into the coaching space, the stream coaching space. If you do have stream related questions, please feel free to ask them. We actually quite enjoy talking about streaming and how to run a successful channel. It's kind of something I enjoy.
We have 2 questions. This one is from Plasma Fire. Do you have a favorite outdoorsy activity?
Ooh.
I like a lot of outdoorsy activities. I like to bike, swim. I know you like
nice.
swimming.
Swimming's nice. I like swimming. I like the water a lot.
I don't like getting out of the swimming pool because you're all wet. And then I hate when the swimming pool...
Yes, that's how water works. Exactly. Very good.
I hate how the
Very
swimming pool
good.
gets like to that, like the bath temperature. Like, no, the swimming pool should always be a little colder.
What? No, it needs to be warm.
No, ew, it's so
no, it
nasty.
Because
swimming
then
pools are so nasty when they're warm. I mean, they're like
What?
that bath water.
What? No, that's a perfect temperature. That's when you
no.
need to go
That's
swimming.
horrible.
That's when you need to go swimming. No, because otherwise it's cold and then you're uncomfortable. And then, like, if you stop moving for a little
No.
bit, you start cooling down.
No, it
and
needs to be
just,
a little bit
ugh.
cold.
No, because like if
Just a
you're
little
warm,
nippy.
if you're warm, you're consistently warm, right? You're always warm. If you're warm, you're always warm. But if you move, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. No, I don't like warm pools. But I'd say swimming maybe is one of those.
Camping, I like camping. I've been camping like a lot in my life. I feel like that was a really weird.
Here's
way
another
of saying
question
that.
from Sidriq.
Okay.
What is the meaning of life? 42, not allowed. Ooh, what is the meaning of life? Live life to your fullest, be happy,
happy.
and spread happiness to others.
Yeah, fucking find joy and give joy.
Find joy and give joy.
Yep. And
Spread.
yeah, it's
Spread
just,
joy,
I
make
don't
people
know,
happy.
Find some way to make someone other than yourself fucking happy. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Find some
it's
way.
deep without not being deep. Just find
Yeah,
love.
find some way to make someone other than yourself happy. You know, if that's like going a little bit out of your way at your job, then fucking go a little bit out of your way at your job. It won't kill you.
Yeah, open a door for someone. Even
Yeah,
smile.
fucking open the door for someone that day.
Just small things, or you can even
Yeah.
do big things. Just make somebody else's day.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to make someone else's day a little bit. I agree 1,000%.
Okay, we have another question from Yeti Machete.
Okay, sure.
They first love the answer to that question.
Perfect.
And I'll remember that you guys are becoming stream coaches. So, new question. How do you get exposure for a new channel? There are a lot of ways.
Off stream. What you do outside your channel matters more than what you do inside your channel. Honestly, if you have some minor branding, decent, like down the road, right? Don't focus on this at your starting stream, but like, you're into streaming, right? If you have okay graphics, decent audio, like, good audio, you play games that make sense for you, your channel, and your community, and you don't have the personality of a wet dish rag, then you'll be okay. You'll be a fine streamer. That's it. That's all it takes. But the connections that you create with the people around you in the space matter
huge.
so much more. So much more.
But don't go around to make connections to people just because
Make
you want to get
friends.
things out of it. Never ever have that the case.
Yeah, making friends goes so much further in this industry because you never know where someone's going to end up.
Seriously.
And you never know who you're going to be talking to, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, just going in to meet people and talk to people, like, conventions are huge. Conventions are probably, if you want to get one way to get quote unquote exposure, conventions are probably the easiest way to do it. God, like, just being a part of other communities,
Yeah.
showing up consistently in other people's channels and streams. It goes back to the whole, like, don't expect support from people if you don't provide support for people.
Yep.
And I mean, it kind of changes. It's one of those things that kind of scale over time.
Yeah.
Eventually you have less time to do, to create new connections, but people come into your space to create connections, and it just kind of happens naturally. But when you're starting out, like, seeking those out and really focusing on meeting new people and making new friends and being part of things, providing value in spaces.
Yeah.
Not
Definitely.
just showing up and being like, hi, I love 3D printed penises. And just saying that on repeat in someone's chat. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's neat. But, like, showing up and, like, as the streamer's streaming something and they're focused and, a new person comes in, you're like, hi, and then you talk to the new person and, explain what's going on. Like, you're providing value to that community, and the streamer fucking notices. Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm in a boss fight, this happens in Sekiro a lot, right? We've been playing Sekiro. Because I'm in a boss fight and I can't fucking focus on chat. And I look over and I see, 2 or 3 new people join, and then I see, like, chat talking to the new people. I'm like, dude, that's badass. I see you, person that's been chatting. That's how Mike got modded.
Yeah.
Mike was just in chat all the time, talking to people, and, he got a sword because we just saw that, basically.
I love that. Connecting with viewers then really helps. It's not just viewers, it's making friends in the streaming space. It's not, I don't think of you guys as viewers. There is that.
No fans, right?
Yeah, no fans. I hate that. You're just like, oh, I'm Octa's biggest fans. Like, no, we don't do
have
fans here. We have
fans.
friends. We have people that we know.
You guys support us. You guys make our dream possible. That's not a fan. That's a friend. We lift each other up in this space.
Okay. Is Facebook a good exposure, or does that make it seem desperate? It just depends how you use Facebook.
Your personal Facebook, just crumple it up, throw it in the garbage can, and then set the garbage can on fire. It doesn't matter anymore. Having a business Facebook, though, makes a lot of sense. Having a spot, because everybody has a Facebook, right? So having a spot that, your community can come together and, like, hang out and watch and all that stuff and, like, talk about things, and you can post clips and you can post updates. It's like this weird amalgam between the content you'd post on Twitter and the content you post on Instagram or even YouTube.
And don't just have these social medias just to shout out, like, oh, I'm going live, and having no other content on them.
So everything you do, it all goes down to value. If you cannot answer, if someone looks at something and asks you, what is the value, and you don't have an answer, then you don't need it.
Yeah. What's, like, the value of your stream?
Okay.
What is the value of your socials? What is the value of this? If you can look at it and say, like, oh, this is my value, then...
So, and value comes in a multitude of ways. There's obviously entertainers. There's people who are just goddamn hilarious.
Yeah. We're not one of those. You talk about, like, hilarious people.
Yeah, like,
I know.
Comedian level, like, people. Those people exist, and they're hilarious, and they're fun to just listen to.
Yeah, you want to be their friends.
There's god-tier gameplay streamers. Who
Shroud,
you could,
Ninja,
you could just
big
watch
ones.
because they are basically prodigies in their game space.
Yeah.
There's educational people who provide value by teaching you something, which is something we strive to do. There's motivational people.
Yes, which we also strive, I feel like, to do.
Yeah,
I do.
You know, provide you something to look at and be like, you know, that exactly. I'm gonna strive for that.
Yeah.
You know, something to help uplift you, motivate you.
Yeah.
And then there's relational value, which is built naturally over time, but part of relational value is charisma. Being able to relate and interact with people on a person-to-person note that feels natural and connects. Being charismatic is a learned skill. But if you're good at that, that is a huge value point. Being able to just talk to people. Being able to just have a real human conversation is so big.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, I'm not a god at gameplay. I'm not a genius. And I'm not hilarious. Therefore, my stream has no value. No.
That's not it at all.
Yeah, when I talk to you, I was engaged for the better part of, 2 hours just talking to you about the ins and outs of, I don't know, the fucking, like, shrimp shipping industry. Like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But you engaged me. And that's the important part. You engaged me and we had real interaction, and that matters.
Yeah. Okay. So we have another question from Shan's Immortal. I want to answer this one. New question. Any advice on closing that final 10-20 viewer gap to reach 75 mark? The final push, per se. First off, make sure your community and everybody, and some even times outside of your community, knows that is your goal. You are making that push. This is where I'm at, and this is where I need to be. I need your help.
I'm gonna jump in actually real quick.
Okay. Go ahead.
Don't make your brand about getting partnership.
Yes.
Do not make the only thing that you ever talk about partnership, because then once you get it, once that goal is achieved, it's it. That's game over. That's what
people
did it.
came for.
They came to get you to partner.
That was
now
the
you're
goal
partnered,
line,
and
then
now they're
you
gone.
cross the goal line. You're just like, okay, don't have to
And
do that
now
race
all,
anymore.
all of that hype, all of that excitement that your channel generated for people is over and gone.
Yeah,
So-
but still make it known to people that this is what I'm trying to do. I feel like
I would say vocalize that's the goal.
Yes.
Make it known. If you have friends, this is the time to reach out to your streamer friends and say,
Yeah,
hey,
it doesn't
I'm
hurt.
not asking for a host, but I just want to let you know that we're close to partnership, and if as long as you're on good terms with those people, as long as you're at that relational point.
Yeah, like Shins, you're like, you could message us.
Yeah,
Like,
you-
we
yeah,
know
if
you're
you
pushing.
messaged us and
but
you
if
were
you're
like,
be
hey-
these are the days that I'm normally lower. Could I possibly get a raid these days?
Yeah,
and we
I
will
mean-
do our very best to try to get you, because we believe in you. We love your content. We've rated you
I just poured coffee down my front.
by your friend. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm genius.
But yeah,
I'm great.
that's reaching out to people. These are my lower days. Just to the streamer friends, these are my lower days. I would absolutely love a raid to get to push over to the edge.
right.
There.
So and then
And then also have goals. Like if you reach 75 people,
yeah,
75
having fun little goals in your stream. Nothing crazy, but
nothing
like
crazy, like a little Bean Boozled. Like every time you hit
Yeah,
75,
or
or doing
like-
little something, like you maybe have like a special hairdo on your
I've
your
seen
person.
people do things in their beard. I've seen people who don't stream with cameras turn cameras on.
Yeah. Just different little things. Once you hit something, and make it known so people know, oh, I've hit this, or oh, we haven't hit this today.
something kind of new.
And having in a visual thing so people can see, like, even if they just hop in and try to hop out, it gets them in if they see something a little different. And it keeps them staying in because they're kind of like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Having a certain thing, when you hit that number of people, maybe you hold it for like 5 minutes. Like
Yeah.
hitting like maybe 80 if you want to reach to like
75, maybe every day that you hit 100 viewers, I will turn on my face cam for the rest of the
or
stream.
I will do this. I'll have a giveaway or something like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's better something visual so people can get an idea if you've hit it that stream because it creates some more hype in the
Yeah.
stream. And
and especially
if you guys
like
haven't hit it, it still creates the hype to hit it.
right, it's
if that
one of
makes
those.
any
Well, it's
sense.
also one of those things. Like if you're scrolling through the streams you follow and you're used to seeing a certain thing from that stream every day, you see them in your follow page and it looks relatively similar, and then one day it's just like boom, different. You're just like, wait, what
Yeah.
happened here? What's
like
new?
you could have like multicolored hair or something on your little avatar, like pink hair or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, whatever-
completely
yeah.
different. Be like, oh yeah,
And then my last thing is hone in on your value. Find it. Just take a day and ask yourself, why do people watch me? And you should know by the point that you're pushing for partner. You should know honestly why
Oh,
people
yeah.
watch you. You have an idea, and even if it takes you being a little cocky,
oh
like,
yeah. It's
be
fine to
honest with
cocky.
yourself. If you know you're fantastic at something, be like, yeah, no, own that shit. I'm great at this. Because everyone's great at something. Everyone is good at something.
Oh yeah.
So like knowing your value and then honing in on that is such a massive thing. We started growing a lot more when, Game Sounds went down. And it was all about conversation. It was
Yep.
how fast can we read your chat message and we could all talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's when stream just kind of clicked for us.
Yeah, and then a big thing recently is taking off the lab coats. Like we're still
being people.
being people.
Not a figurehead, not an image, not a character, but
There's nothing
people.
wrong with characters. It's just what's
no,
worked for
no,
us.
No. There's nothing at all wrong with people or characters.
There's nothing wrong with people. There
There's
better
nothing
not
wrong
be.
with people. No, there's a lot of things
Better
wrong
not.
with people. Fuck, I could name 5 things wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with being a character streamer, but it does make you a lot easier to relate to someone who is similar to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was our reason for it. That and our chat started rioting when we didn't have lab coats. We're like, yeah, no, we're not lab coats. We're people. We're people in lab coats, but
Yeah.
we're not lab coats. No, this is gonna be how this
Another
works.
thing that helped us is we showed basically and talked about all of the emotes people would get from once we too hit that goal.
building hype, just in general. Build
building
hype.
And just be like, oh, we'd have this many emotes now for you guys. You guys would have this and that. It's like something that not only helped me do this, but this is what I can also offer you.
Yeah, why should you care, right? If you're
Yeah.
just a fair weather viewer, why should you care? Maybe you somewhat enjoy the content, but it's just like, I'm here sometimes because you play a game I like, and you're honestly the only streamer in this game category that I can tolerate, so whatever, I'm here, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, being able to be like, hey, random person that doesn't ever show up, this is what you get. I know you're subbed here, so instead of having, what do affiliates have now? 5 emotes, right?
I think so. I think they're.
Like if you hit the max
so.
max number of emote slots, it's 5, I think.
I think so. It might be 4 now.
Can
but
someone
it might be
confirm?
5 soon. I'm not sure. It's
Someone-
something
can
like
someone-
that.
Yeah, and anyway, being
Oh,
like
5th
and-
in May. Yeah.
Okay, so instead of being like, hey, and instead of having 4 emotes, you're gonna have 20 emotes. And
Yeah.
they're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, and here's the emotes we have mocked up right now, and they're like, oh, okay, I kind of like those. Yeah, and then like, here's the other benefit. You complain all the time that the stream's only in 720 and you have this awesome internet. Well, I'll be able to stream at 1080 because I'll have constant encoder settings. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like, yeah, and you want us to succeed, we have more opportunities to pick up sponsors and get deals for you guys because companies take me more seriously. And by the time you explain the reasons partnership matters, it builds a lot of hype.
Yeah. And I know, as people, it's not just for the streamer. Like, it helps the streamer out working with different companies and.
But it helps the community as a whole, right?
Yes. So yeah. You are your. It's good and solid advice. It's different from what I've gotten. So that's super helpful. I'm really glad. I'm really
Good.
glad that we
That's
can help.
very good.
Yeah,
Of course.
anytime, any questions, we're an open book, and I mean, we'll give you the best advice we have. It might not always be the advice people want to hear, but we will definitely lay it out there, everything that we would do. And
Yeah.
I feel like having 2 people, we get 2 different perspectives because there are some questions that we think differently on, and
Yeah.
it might get your brain a thinking, and you
Yeah.
might side with one person a little bit more. But yeah, anytime.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. I don't have any issues. Do we have any more questions? Do we have anything from Discord
no.
or anything from Twitch chat? You guys, if you guys are coming in, we're doing the podcast. Any and all questions,
Okay, we do have
streaming,
another
life, anything at all things are welcome in this space. This is a ask us anything and let us educate you. Let us help you.
Yes. So, Axel's question: have you ever had a moment that you thought you would not be able to make another stream?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
we
have
thought about quitting about 5 times, probably in our streaming career. Most of those were when we first started, when we were streaming nothing but Call of Duty, and our community was toxic, and we didn't know what we got ourselves into. We made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't what we wanted.
We modded a lot of wrong people, so we had a lot of like trolls in chat, and it just wasn't a good space.
We absolutely hated streaming because we knew what we were going to deal with every day.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't a good space was the issue, right?
Yeah.
It was a garbage space to be in, and it wasn't fun for people in chat. It wasn't fun for us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there's been times where we've had really low months, and we just thought everybody just left. And
yeah. I mean, there is a psychological thing that comes along with streaming, right? It's really, you hear it all the time, right? Don't let your numbers define your self-worth, right? That's so much easier said than done.
Yeah.
And you can look at something as much as you want to, right? You can say, okay, well, finals are happening right now, so I understand logically why people aren't here. But
finals or Easter. I mean, this past week, everything's been like trending down. We're just like, oh, have we done anything? We're here.
I mean, you can answer things.
We've been doing everything.
You can answer things as logically as you want, but sometimes it's really hard to turn off the emotional bit of your brain, right?
Yeah,
So-
streaming's a big roller coaster, and on those downs, it's really hard not to just jump off the roller coaster.
Yeah, one of my favorite things was from In-Game Asylum, who basically tweeted that, streaming's a huge roller coaster. You're going to have huge highs, you're going to have huge lows sometimes, and the lows are almost going to feel unbearable from time to time. But as long as when you look at it, you can say, all right, well, this low of lows that I'm at right now is still higher than my last low of lows.
Yeah.
Your highs are going to be all over the place, guys. Sometimes you're going to have days where you pick up 200 subs in a night. That happens. And it's crazy awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then those 200 subs
like
sometimes fall off.
Yeah.
Or you lose half of them because there is a huge amount of gifted subs.
You have to take off 2 days for medical reasons, 2 stream days, and then you drop 75 subs in 2 days.
Yeah.
Just like,
sometimes people don't understand. Sometimes subs don't renew. Sometimes people get busy and can't tune in that week.
Yeah.
That happens.
And sometimes they're gifted subs.
Yeah, and gifted subs, like, there's, it's great that, a lot of people have a good conversion on gifted subs to continuing subs, but it's not something you should expect.
Yeah.
Just because someone was given a gift does not mean they're going to continue that sub.
Yeah.
Maybe if they really like you, they may.
Yeah.
But
most of the time, people just don't even know that they got gifted a sub to you.
Or they know and they play with the emotes for a little bit and they're like, huh, fancy, neat, and then they don't care, right?
Yeah.
Because they're only there half the time, or they're not like really in the community. They just kind of enjoy a thing you do, maybe. So I mean, all those things kind of happen, right? So understanding that happens, that's normal, and you're not doing anything wrong. It's not your fault. Goes a long way to keeping that sort of fatigue from just being a streamer kind of down.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another question from Yeti Machete.
Okay.
So when you're not streaming, what kind of things are you doing for YouTube clips and stuff?
I'm honestly really shit about YouTube. I've been really lazy, but
we post this podcast every week to the YouTube. We also post.
It gets well. All right, this is my area.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is what I do. This is primarily what I do, all of the conversions and posting and repurposing. Whereas Holly does like outreach and connections and manages socials and all that stuff. That's her area. We've kind of broken down our work into what we're better at. So every week, after the podcast, I rip the audio out of the Twitch clip. If you guys ever see the Twitch, I've made a playlist on stream where I clip the starting marker I use and the end marker I use, and you guys can watch the entire podcast section from the Twitch playlist we have. But I take that, I download it, and I rip the audio out of it. I kind of clean up the audio a little bit because Twitch's audio's so-so. So I give it a little more range. I take the peaks out of it. I make it a little easier to listen to, and I boost it so people who have weak speakers can listen to it at a good volume. And then that goes on YouTube. It goes on Anchor, Stitcher, Google Podcast. Just all the podcasting places, right? So it goes everywhere. And then every Friday we do a section called Shut Up and Take My Friday, where for tips you guys can submit videos and watch us react, and they get trolly, they get funny, or sometimes they're just really good. So I take that every Friday, I rip the stuff off of that, and I edit it from clip to clip to clip, and that goes on YouTube. And then if we take another day, we're actually thinking about just sitting down and recording like a talk, just like a little like thought.
Yeah, and we're also thinking about doing vlogs at some point too.
Yeah, so
we have a lot of things in ideas.
That's
in the
our
works.
kind of content repurposing at the moment. A lot of what we do is generated in stream and then repurposed, because that's what makes the most sense for us.
Okay, here's one from Chris. This is a really good one. Okay, here's one. I ordered my channel art, sub badges, emotes a month and a half ago in preparation, and my artist just had a major life upheaval. So no clue when that will ever be delivered. Have no funds for anything from anyone else. I just achieve affiliate, and I have nothing for subs. So what you're gonna need to do is contact that artist. This is more of my side because this is the artisty side. So contact that artist. Be very professional. Be like, I know I paid for these. This is the date that I need them by. If you are not, like, as nicely as possible, if you're not able to deliver that, I understand that you've had a lot of life things going on. If you're not able to deliver that, I would very much please like a refund. This is my money for art, and I will look for another artist. Do you have any suggestions? If so, just basically thank them for everything they've done. So I'm sorry that everything's going because life happens, but that's your money that you entrusted to someone to get something out to you in a timely manner. And as an artist, you need to be as professional as you can. And I have even artists I can suggest to you that I believe have commissions open that could help you with that.
Well, here's the other thing about it though, is I mean, it feels weird, right? It feels really weird to sit there and be like, oh God, how could I possibly, right? How could I ever possibly think about like, just dropping it? But you have to realize, like, you're in a working relationship with this person.
Yeah.
So, like, as awesome as it may or may not be to I mean, yeah, sure, they may be a good friend of yours or whatever else. You still paid for a service, and you need to kind of be respectful of what you paid for, right? And I mean, it sounds shitty, but like sometimes that means you gotta find someone else to make good on that. If they're incapable of making good on that, then maybe you need to find someone else too.
Yeah, because they themselves are a business. If they tell you that they're going to provide you a product, think about it just like paying for medication, even something that's needed. This is my money for medication. You give it to a company. They're like, okay, here is, you're going to have to wait. We don't have this medication in. We don't know when we're going to get it in. But you know that another company is going to have that medication.
Well, it's more like...
It's just like, it's something that you give your money to, and then they just can't deliver. They understand they have, like...
Well, yeah,
it's like a butthole or anything.
It's like, well, it's like pre-ordering like a game or something, and then the companies... It's like funding a Kickstarter, right? And then the company is just like, nah, We're good. You know, we have a lot going on right now, so
Well, it's not just an hour gig. I heard that the person
we
had
have
a pretty big...
we have a lot going on. Our CEO's having some life issues, so we're actually not going to work on this game. You know, everyone who funded the Kickstarter, like, thanks and all, but we're not going to do it. We're not going to get it out. And it's like, okay, well then I need you to refund me so I could find a game similar because I was really into this concept. I need to find someone who's doing something similar because I really wanted this to be a thing.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yep.
That's kind of how I see it.
Okay, here's another one from Seeking. I just wanted to say thanks. My girlfriend and I came over the other night, and you answered some great questions. We've had the hardware mostly set up and the broadcast mostly set up.
Awesome.
However, we feel that we really need to get a business account created before really getting going. Do you have any suggestions?
So what do you mean by
business account, and what do you mean?
There's a lot of business accounts that go into to doing this. Yeah, it really, I guess.
First off, is this something you're 100% sure on doing?
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, like I mean,
I'm assuming you want to give it a good college
what kind of business accounts?
Like an LLC? Oh God, no! Please don't waste your time and money. There's no point. So
business checking.
So what? All right. So you 100%. Like, all right. Let me slow down. There's a couple of things to tackle here. One, LLCs, corporations, all of that. What do they provide you? Anyone who doesn't know, basically protection, right? They eliminate the sole responsibility of being the one person responsible for a thing. So like when you make like a food shop, right? You start a business and you're selling hamburgers in your local town, right? You get your little place, you incorporate or you form an LLC. Because if someone comes in and they get sick because they're a dumbass and they didn't realize they had a gluten allergy and they eat a burger and it kills them and their family sues you, you are not responsible. Your company is responsible, maybe. Maybe. That's a weird, impossible, thing. But, I mean, legal liability aside, like, your company would be responsible. So you could not be held personally responsible for anything that might have happened. What are you going to do in a broadcast that is going to pose serious issue to someone's life or limb? What is going to make you possibly held responsible that if you were sued for something, you were going to pay out of your pocket? More importantly, what are you going to get sued for as a streamer that isn't automatically tossed out in court with a judge laughing at them? No. Oh, he called me a meanie word. Like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Like, who cares? Hurt feelings aren't something you can sue for, right?
Yeah, and they also said business checking.
Now, checking, like creating a business account, sure. I mean, if you want to help yourself stay organized, yeah, being able to track your money flow makes sense. But also, like,
it's not necessary if you keep track of.
Yeah, if you just basically keep some books, keep your shit, organized in whatever
for taxes.
Yeah, way makes the most sense to you, right? Then it's really not necessary. The other bit of it is like, how do I say this? Don't worry so much about the monetary side of things yet. If you're just now starting a channel, like, you don't need to be thinking about business checking accounts. You don't. You need to be thinking about how to create good content first.
Yeah.
Because you're not even going to get to the point where you're depositing a check that's worth a damn until you're providing value to people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're focusing on how do I get money for this little thing I'm doing, you're probably not going to get out of that little spot. Monetizing too early can absolutely halt the progress of a channel.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially with people who want to help support, it's one of those things like, if you're sub to a channel, you feel like you're doing your part. Okay, that's great. I'm sub to you. You're awesome. It's like, okay, well, why do I need to go out there and retweet every freaking day and tell my friends. I'm already doing my part. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, you're obligated to pay child support, so you have to keep my income reported pretty well.
Yeah,
that's
I'm saying just
then,
don't jump. Well, what I'm saying is don't jump into the monetization of streaming yet. I'm saying
that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to set it up so when they get it, they're able to organize it well because they do have money on top of taxes to pay out.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that entirely.
So I would say business checking would be a good idea if you're going to jump into streaming seriously, just because you do have to pay child support and to keep all of that in line. That's not the case with us personally.
I would say,
so
I mean, yeah,
it's a little bit different from person to person.
Get a separate account that your Twitch paychecks go into, but don't focus on generating a Twitch paycheck at the start is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, focus on creating good content first. Maybe have the account, sure, but don't worry about the paycheck until it makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's not what they're not what they were saying.
Setting up the foundation isn't an issue, and if you feel like a business checking account's going to help you track your money better, then sure. On the same note, like just a digital spreadsheet, what you got paid, because I mean everything is tracked inside. I can pull up our last 50 fucking pay stubs from Twitch and see what we got every month, how much it was worth. I can go months back, I can go years back in my stats and see like what revenue was generated and all that. So I mean, like, I have all of my bookkeeping digitally, so I don't personally feel the need.
I guess it really whatever you feel comfortable with. There is no one way to go.
I don't want to pay for a business checking account when I could see what's deposited from the business side, and we file as a sole proprietor anyway, so income.
Yeah.
So
whatever you feel like it's necessary to do, but yeah.
Just to follow up with what Seeking asked, how serious are copyright infringement / musical lawsuits? Any idea? So as far as I'm aware, and again, I'm speaking from a point of ignorance. I'm not 100% on this, and if you find something that proves me wrong, please let me know. But as far as I'm aware, there have been no musical copyright lawsuits against a broadcaster to this date, at least. Now, how Twitch handles their copy strike claims, like, they'll mute your audio, and then if someone really wants to make a fuss about it, you'll get a soft ban.
Yeah.
And
you're told not to do it again.
And you're told not to do it again.
If you do it again, then you probably get a permanent ban.
You're going to look at a permanent ban if you ignore them. But if you get 24'd and you get a strongly worded email from Twitch saying, "Hey, look, this person's claiming copyright on this. You absolutely cannot stream DMCA stuff," then don't do it again.
Yeah.
Someone was looking at your content and you need to be careful.
The only things that we've seen people get DMCA'd about is like really, really popular, like mostly rap music.
Yeah, the rap industry's kind of
we've seen a little bit bad about that.
But I mean, like, the producer, here's an interesting thing. Like, for example, all the music in the 80s are coming out of their DMCAs now.
Yep.
Also, yeah, most of them. Depends on when they were copyrighted, but a lot of those are coming out of copyright now. Also, like, you hear it a lot from people in like the rock industry, especially smaller bands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have been asking, how would you feel about a YouTuber or a streamer playing your music in their production? And a lot of those people are like, "Oh yeah, no, please do. We can use whatever exposure you can provide us.
Yeah.
Please. If you're interested, send us an email."
Yeah, and there's a lot of other
DMCA's copyright law in America.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other musicians and stuff. I mean, I know even several that are on Twitch. They're just like, yeah, just ask me, give me permission, give me credit in your panels, and you can use my music. And they have a lot of awesome music. And there's also non-copyrighted music you're able to play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about it, then yeah, just at the end of the day, if you're worried about getting copy striked, then play some non-copyrighted music, right?
Yeah. And then we do on Shut Up and Take My Fridays, where you're able to play YouTube videos, songs.
The thing
things
is,
like that.
anything you react to is considered transformative.
Yes.
So if you're providing commentary to something, it is transformative works. Therefore, if they want to copyright claim it, you can counterclaim that you were using it for transformative works.
Yeah.
And then it's no longer a valid copy claim.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So I think that might be it.
I think that's a pretty solid
good
point.
ending.
Do we have a final question? Anyone want to land a finale for us before we wrap up and head out of here? I feel like this was a pretty solid episode. I like it. It took a second to get going, but once it did, I feel like it was definitely valuable.
I got you. I'm not super worried about it, but a friend of mine gets mad at me for playing music.
Now, here's a final thought then. Here's a
At the
final
very
closing
end-
thought.
Yeah, at the very end, it's your stream.
Yeah.
It's not your friend's stream.
It's your stream. You create the content that
You're
you
putting your name
want
on this.
to make. You create the space that you are happy with and that you are proud with. And if your friend doesn't like it, then that's too bad. And
Yeah, maybe
if
they're not
they
a
want
friend.
it, and if they want to throw a fit about it, then you can remind them whose space it actually belongs to.
Yeah.
The stream is not theirs. It is no one else's but your own.
Mm-hmm.
Own it, claim it, and do with it what you want.
Yes.
Make a space that makes you happy first.
Yep.
And
You-
like-minded people will flock to it.
Yes, because you have to be there to have the space in the first place. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody here are like-minded to us and they're friends. I mean, they like the
Exactly.
space that we've created and they're helping create it also at this point.
Just don't let other people dictate what you create. Otherwise, you will always be unhappy with what you're making.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Guys. All right. Well, if you're listening on the other podcasting platforms and want to join the conversation, this is recorded every Tuesday live at twitch.tv/OctoMouse
Yes,
Labs.
and for those people that are live in right now, we are not ending. We are just ending at the portion of our podcast. So stay with us, and we will be chatting with you and talking with you still for the rest of the night.
Yep. So if you're on any of the podcast players, subscribe, leave a review.
Please.
Leave a review. If you
Yes.
like us even a little bit, leave a review. If you hate me, tell me why.
Leave a review.
Please, leave a review. If you're on
as long as
YouTube,
it's creative hating.
if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.